Please welcome with a big round of applause. Here is Dr. Donatus Weber. Yeah, he's already here. Also with us here today from Codecentric, Jannik Hüls. And from MindSphere, Sebastian Wolf and Klaus Cremers. And last but not least, from FA, Stephan, Karl. Welcome to the stage, gentlemen. And now, Sebastian, I know you're a fantastic host yourself and moderator.
You go for lunch now?
No, I'm not going to go for lunch. I'm going to watch. But
okay.
Super interesting. I can imagine a lot has happened in the past year. And this is kind of what you're going to be showing us, right?
Exactly. So we started the whole journey like a year ago.
Right.
And we had many touch points now with our customer Kampf. And Donatus will talk about this. It's really exciting.
Okay.
I mean, we started this as a pitch format. We got some developers. They introduced the ideas
that was great.
To fix the IoT challenge Kampf had. And now we will be hearing what the results are. So
all right.
we really look into the details.
Use the time.
Thank you very much, Chris. Okay, so first of all, very warm welcome also from the MindSphere team. We are actually very excited to be here for two reasons. What we just discussed with Chris, it has been a journey for more than a year now with our developers and with our customers.
Amazing journey,
and
Sebastian.
It's been an amazing journey. But before we go into the details, I would like to ask our friends here on the stage to just give a quick introduction about your name and your role.
Yes. My name is Stephan Karl, coming from FA for factory automation, responsible for business development for production machines like slitters and winders from Kampf company. So far. Thanks.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. My name is Jannik Hüls. I'm the head of Industry 4.0 at Codecentric. And my aim is to show how we contribute our software skills in the industry.
So thank you very much for inviting me. My name is Donatus Weber, and I'm also the head of Industry 4.0 at Kampf, Schneid and Wickeltechnik.
So that's a lot of heads.
Yeah, last but not least, I'm also working for MindSphere together with Sebastian. I'm working in a sales department and I have some special operations going on. We will talk about this. And yeah, big thanks for our customer.
You're welcome.
Because we have a long journey already and we will learn today what happens when customers build ecosystems and we promote this as well.
So before we go into the presentation, Klaus, I would really like to understand what is your favorite thing going on here on the booth this year? Because everything is somehow related to digitalization. We hear a lot about applications. So what is your favorite part?
Yeah. So impressed as hell, as always, as I'm more coming from the MindSphere side. I'm always learning so much on this amazing booth. But I saw the automotive as I'm very much impressed by what's happening in the car industries, and I also learned from the press that Siemens is doing something there. We will talk about this later. But here on the booth, I see lots of amazing use cases driving directly our verticals. For example, the automotive industry, or also the food and beverage industries, and this is what I really love.
So automotive industry is really interesting, and I know, Donatus, you are also somehow related to the automotive industry.
Yes, we are. When it comes to lithium polymer batteries, of course, our machines, they more or less slit and wind and rewind the material for these batteries.
Okay.
Anode, cathode, battery separator film. I think I have brought some examples. I will show you later.
We will see that in a second. Okay, great. Jannik, I mean, this is your first time here to the event, to Hanover. I mean, you're a software guy, and you told me at the very beginning when we met this morning, so this is something really new to you. How do you feel?
Yeah, definitely great. So what we see here is that here are moving parts, but me as a software developer also sees that software is core of each of these showcases presented here, and this is great to see, and I think I can learn a lot here, and I'm very looking forward to this week.
Great. Stephan, you're the hardware guy somehow, right? So
Yes.
I find it very interesting that we have both on the stage, because this is what is the integration of IT into OT, right? And we will be very curious to hear from you also how this is going to work.
I'm the guy from the physical machines, yes. And actually, I'm responsible. I want to collect data out of the drive system, which have a direct influence to the quality. Yeah? Bringing up to the MindSphere, and then these guys, they provide it, they collect, they condense it, and make the best of it.
Okay, great. So, ladies and gentlemen, everyone who's standing around here at the stage, please have a seat, so it's much more comfortable to enjoy the show. And Klaus, we have brought a little overview about what we are going to hear now. Can you just quickly introduce to what is shown on the screen?
So just I come over to you because then Donatus is on as well. So what we did last year was the Open Space Challenge. But what we try to do here is build up an ecosystem. So it's all about ecosystems, and it's all about how we work together with our customers and with all the new roles that we have in the ecosystem. That may be a developer like you are, that may also be technology provider, and whoever is important, best in class to solve the problem of the customer. And therefore we have new formats. For example, here in Germany, we do lots of meetups with our customers and developers where both sides meet. We call it matchmaking. Yes, so the customers should find the best one to develop solutions. Therefore, we do, for example, meetups in Germany, all over Germany, and every month there's one meetup. So
let me ask a question here, because I find this really interesting. So meetups, sounds like everyone can join. How does it work?
Yeah, in the end, everyone can join. We go also for the best freelancers. As we all know, the data scientists are the ones we are all chasing. So we try to get them on board there as well and feed them with good use cases. That's what we do. Customers present in 5 minutes. Our partners present, and everyone can join. Just look at our event page at the Siemens.com website. There we have all the meetups announced.
Okay, great. What else we have?
So what else we have? Last year we tried it the first time. We did a developer conference. So we're also addressing this new target group or like this new people that provide content to the ecosystem, and they need special content. They want to know how it's really done, how MindSphere is really working, what are the APIs, how is it used, and this is where we have this new format. It was a huge conference up there in Berlin, a little bit far away from the industry, but actually there are the developers. And we found a lot of them and had a great time. So that was something we did.
So, and what I especially liked about this initiative is we are not only talking about ideas or concepts or, this kind of ideation stuff. We are really talking concrete business.
Yes.
In form of applications, business modeling, all these kind of solutions that are then directly implemented right after the event.
That's true, and therefore we work closely with our customers. Like Donatus can talk about it, how it's done. We try to define the challenge of the customer and then go to the community and ask the community for solutions. And this is what we do in small, but also in big framework. And we have like all the tools for it. So if you want to join, if you are a customer with a challenge, please come to me, come to us and ask for matchmaking, ask for the right solution.
Okay, great. So, and how a concrete example looked like, we will be hearing now from Donatus and from Jannik, because they were participating in such an IoT challenge.
Just because there's on the slide and everybody's looking on the slide. If you read there, co-creation and co-ideation, that seems like buzzwords. But this is what needs to be done. We need to work closely together with the customer, and therefore we also have the tools, and we also have great sites. It's not a production site, it's a creative site, for example in Berlin or in Stuttgart, where you can come out of your factory sites, move into the digital scene, and work together with Siemens and also with partners from the ecosystem. That's what that point I wanted to make. For example, in Berlin we have a great space. It's called Factory Berlin. Some of you may know it, but this is really a place where we have lots of creative people there, not from Siemens, from the ecosystem, and helping our customers.
Okay, thanks Klaus for that. Now I hand over to Jannik and to Donatus, because as I just started to explain, they've been part of such a challenge. And Donatus, when you started the whole thing, why did you participate? Just like, so I better understand, and the friends here in the audience can better understand, what did motivate you to participate in this IoT challenge?
It's pretty simple. It's the best chance to try different and other forms of collaboration, of working together, of creating ideas. That's innovation.
Okay, and I think you benefited from it as well. So at the end of the day, it was worth participating. Sure. Okay, cool. So I hand this over to you. Good luck with your presentation. We will be around. We will be asking questions. And if you have questions in the audience, just raise your hand. We want to keep this as an interactive session, so please feel free to ask questions or keep them until the end of the presentation, and we have time to go into the details.
Okay, so welcome. Our talk, Jannik and mine, will be about the journey that both companies, Codecentric and Kampf, had during the last 2 years. And we chose the title, Working Together but Different, because we are indeed different, software, hardware, steel and iron. And how does this journey look like? At first, we would like to show you who we are. Just some slides. Then, how we work together, how we got together, how community building works, and of course, an outlook to the future. So, let's start with who we are, and I would like to hand over to Jannik.
Thanks, Donatus. Yes. I guess Codecentric is not commonly known in this environment, so I will take a few minutes to explain who we are and what we are doing. So, Codecentric is an IT service provider, and we focused on custom digital products. We have 17 offices throughout Germany, the Netherlands, Serbia, and Bosnia. Fast counters among you might say, okay, there are only 16 dots on this map. We are growing, and we recently opened the office in Erfurt, and I did not manage to put this dot on this map here. However, I think 12 offices in Germany is kind of dense, and what we at Codecentric try to achieve is that we want to work closely together with our customer. We want to work in an environment where we feel comfortable, and this is at our homes. So we want to sleep in our bed, however, we want to work throughout Germany. And at Codecentric, we have 500 IT consultants. And yeah, consultants is a broad term. We are focusing on implementing the digital product. So we are programmers. We are nerds, if you want. And my colleagues are technical experts in very many different domains. So they contribute to very popular open source projects. They have the community built in. So they contribute to the community, they take something from the community, and a community is very, very essential to us. And we are writing blog posts, for example. So to share knowledge is what we try to achieve. We have the most read tech blog in Germany, and we write journal papers in different articles, and yeah, we even organize our own conferences. So community is really important to us. Honestly, we are working together with the customer, and to tell the customers what we are doing, we have four key values. And I will start with what I think most important thing. It's in the lower right corner. It's trust. So what we try to achieve with customers like Kampf or so on is to go in a very, very strong relationship. We don't want to be only recognized as doing the guides who are coding, but we want to be partners in a project. And to have this trust, we can only achieve this trust when we deliver high quality. I said we are kind of nerds, which does not mean that we only focus on code. So to deliver a good quality, it's important to understand the business problem we try to solve. So we want to understand the problem Kampf as a customer tries to solve with their digital product. Now, agile, I think, is the most used term in recent years when it comes to speaking about software development. And I try to give an example why I think it's important to mention agile. So customers are coming to us with a hypothesis. So they say, we want to use the cloud to get a more efficient supply chain throughout our production sites. They have very many assumptions built into this hypothesis. And what we try to achieve is we try to do workshops to understand the problem the customer has. The second thing we try to achieve is we want to understand the assumption the customer makes. So the assumption for such a customer is we can read the data from our machines, for example. And with an agile way, we are trying to break down all these tasks we need to do in very, very small subtasks. So our goal is to test every assumption the customer has iteratively in very small tasks, and that reduces the risk. So when we have very small subtasks, we get in a very, very short feedback loop with the customer, and when we see, oh, one assumption is not right, we immediately have the chance to pivot and we lower the risk. So I think this is the first thing about Codecentric. We are software developers, we are nerds, and yeah, Donatus is showing us what Kampf is doing.
Okay, so thanks, Jannik. We are different. So we are not developing software, we are a classical machine builder. What kind of machines do we build? Well, this is our latest lady, a very nice slitter. It's pretty simple. A big roll goes in and some small rolls go out. For you to understand, I brought some examples. This is one of the finished rolls, but only a very small one. I couldn't bring the large ones because they weigh more than 2 tons. So this is just for food packaging, but there are also other things. You may know label stock. You may know tape. Simple, sticky tape. That's pretty simple. Maybe also the bag of the crisps that you have at the evening when watching TV, your favorite football team. But there are also other pretty nice things. For example, this is capacitor film. The thickness is 0.9 microns. That means if we take that,
Wow,
it will
it's
more or
flying
less
around.
it will stick in the air. That's pretty
Amazing.
That's pretty nice. 0.9 microns. It's really hard to slit that. We were talking about automotive domain, and of course, e-mobility. You need batteries. That's not a bag. It looks like, because this kind of material, when you touch it, it feels like a bag, but it's not. This is battery separator film. That means it's in between anode and cathode. So let's build a battery. Can you hold that, please?
Oh, for sure.
So this is the anode. Cathode.
Is this dangerous?
No, nothing will happen. And that's a battery. Okay, it still misses some electrolyte, but don't worry, we will not make that on stage today.
And we will have some colleagues who could help you, maybe.
For sure, for sure. So you see there's a large variety of web-based material that is running over our machines. That's also nice. When opening your wallet, you will see in the money there is, I think I don't need to mention more.
Ah, okay. Amazing. This is where the money is saved on.
Yes. Okay. So, pretty nice. I would like to start with something that in many domains it occurs. It's disruption. Disruption. When I first heard the word disruption, I was thinking of Star Trek. I think one of the Klingons, they had this disruptor cannons or whatever, so it's bad. So you associate it in a bad way. Well, when having a glance at the past, and you talk about disruption, many often you see this slide, Eastman Kodak. Well, for us, that was really, really bad. Have a look at the tidal wave of digital photography, and you can see within 2 to 3 years, it was from top down to nothing, analog photography. That was really bad because we had around 20% of our engineers working on that stuff. That's one of the machines. Very, very good machinery, but no one needed it anymore. So what happened? Well, this first digital camera was invented by that guy, and he's from Kodak. It's a little bit ironic. Well, have a look at your pocket. There's something inside. It's called mobile phone. And this mobile phone has something, optical film. No, that's not the thing that protects it from scratches. It's really the thing that glows. And it's pretty nice because this film needs to be slitted. So that was very good for us because we could start with building machines for optical film. You see, disruption and digital transformation, they go along each other. And when there's disruption, there's always a chance to do something else, to become better. And I think that's enough from the world of steel and iron. We need to connect these worlds.
Hopefully we try.
Let's try.
Okay.
Let's try to connect these worlds.
Yeah. The question is, why does this customer like Kampf want to work together with a software company like Codecentric is? Luckily for us, recently there were many news around this topic. So we read about Volkswagen joining forces with Amazon, for example. And when I read the arguments why Volkswagen wants to do so, it reminded me a little about what I think we as Codecentric can contribute to a project with Kampf. Honestly, Volkswagen and Amazon are giants, yeah? But however, they have the same idea, I guess. Amazon is well known as a company which delivers end products to customers. However, they are much more. In the realm of computer science, they are experts. They have very many open source projects which they contribute to the community. They are experts in data processing, for example. They are experts in machine learning. They even have their own cloud platform. And all these technologies may be used in the realm of Volkswagen to have a digital transformation. We at Codecentric are working for more than 30 insurance companies throughout Germany, and they all have a lot of data. And we are doing data processing for years now. We know what to do with data. We know how technology should look like if we want to gain more knowledge out of data. The question for us always is, where does this data come from? What is the source of data? Kampf, on the other side, has very many experts on the mechanical level. They have experts on how to automate machines and so on. And they have the data at hand. So their question is, we have the data, and what should we do with it? And now MindSphere comes into account. And I think it's the answer to both questions. Kampf now knows where to put the data, and we now know where to read the data from. So MindSphere for us is the solution to bridge the gap between OT and IT. With MindSphere, we now have, if you want, coded communication channel. We do not necessarily have to communicate to know where the data is. Starting our first project, we and Kampf met, and when we visited Kampf's location and Kampf visited us, we were aware that these worlds are kind of different. On the left, you see the software developers' view of the world. This is the headquarters of Codecentric, and I think for Kampf it had first a playful-like thing. And when we visited Kampf, we only thought, whoa, this is big. Here are very many moving parts, they're strong, they have very many things to build. However, on the second side, I think both worlds are not that different. We as a software developer need an atmosphere which is creative. We need rooms in which we communicate, because we want to grow new ideas and we want to do experiments together. Basically, I think it's the same at Kampf. However, they need a different environment. What they need is a manufacturer, they need machines and so on to build their experiments. The good thing is, now we can not only work together on a social level, but having technologies like MindSphere, for example, we can also work on a technological level. And what we try to achieve is, we want to do these experiments together. Our first experiment, if you want, was a product called the Advanced, and Donatus will now tell us what the Advanced does and which problem we solve with this.
Okay, so it's a pretty nice slide because when we at Kampf started with Industrie 4.0, we founded a whole department, and it was funny when we had the first software developers apply at our company, because with the CEO of Kampf, I went through this production place with a software guy. And in the end, the software guy asked, well, you have a kind of a rest room? It's coffee for free? That's really disturbing for our CEO, because he's a classical mechanical engineer. For him, this world is perfect. And the software developer was looking for a Starbucks-like location. So, interfacing worlds. Okay. Jannik, you introduced the integrative platform that we built in the times more or less before the MindSphere that we have in the version 3 right now. What is the Advanced? The Advanced is an on-premise integrative platform for our customers. Our customers run our machines, and their goal is to run them as effective and efficient as possible. So, what do they need? They need a kind of tool that supports them with technology to know if they are efficient, if they can become more efficient. So as you can see, on the shop floor you have different slitters. Data of the slitters is aggregated in the Advanced. You can do analysis, and you have a web-based interface to pull out all this data and to visualize it. So what kind of data is inside? We want to know what's going on our shop floor, and we need digital CVs, digital role protocols. What happened during the process of slitting this roll? Maybe for food, that's not so important, but when it comes to anode or cathode material, you need proof that everything went fine. So here you can see a quick overview of the data of the shop floor, what is going on, what is happening, some efficiency numbers. I was talking about these digital role protocols. For every production run, you can now go into detail and select one of these detail views of the digital role protocol, so you know what was going on. And all this data is saved into a big data lake for later analysis.
This is where we came into account.
Absolutely. Right? So now, remember the picture with the two worlds. Kampf will not hire a team of data analysts, but we have a partner, and they are very, very, very good at that. So there's another point. Now you know that you are efficient. Maybe you can become more efficient, but you want to stay efficient. So what do? I think maintenance is important. So what our customers needed was something to go for efficient maintenance. That means we built a system of QR codes at the maintenance points. Now you can have the Advanced, open it in the web browser on your tablet, scan that code, and you are able to do maintenance. In some cases, this is much more important than any kind of predictive maintenance, because this saves money. Okay. Few words to the Advanced. We quickly discovered that things become complex when analyzing data and when going for automation of subsystems. Well, we stood there like that. Oh my God. We need many experts, roller specialists, drive engineers. Now the new experts, data analyst, RFID expert. You cannot handle that alone. Digital transformation is a community task. I think this is one of the most important things that you need to know. And we built a community, did we?
We tried, at least. We tried, yes.
We did.
So, I said in the beginning that community is really what drives us at Codecentric. So we are part in very, very many communities. And this sentence, you cannot do it alone, is core at this. Together with Kampf, I think we were able to not only contribute technology to the project, but also our experience with building a community. So we were founding partners of the Converting 4.0 partner network, and I hope at least that our experience in creating such a community helped Kampf to ramp this up. We were in the lucky situation to test new things with Kampf and also with other customers, because when we are doing a workshop, for example, we always try to create a very creative atmosphere. And for example, with this partner network, we tried something like an open space. So everyone attending a conference is coming in the morning to the booth, and there is no fixed agenda. You only see time slots, but the time slots are not filled with any topic. The good thing is everyone attending this conference has the chance to contribute. So in the morning there is a marketplace, and everyone who has an idea of what we want to speak about at this day just simply puts a card into a time slot, and we are fine with this. But this is not the only rule at such a conference. There are many, many more. So for example, the law of 2 feet. If you have nothing to contribute in a session, please leave. Don't just sit there because you were there in the beginning. Leave, go to the next room, and try to contribute there. And the second rule might be, whenever it starts, it's the right time to start. So whenever we think we want to start, or whenever we think we want to end, we are fine with that. And I hope that the good experience Kampf made with such an open space helped a little to motivate them to contribute to the MindSphere Open Space Challenge. This was by accident that we met there. So whenever we read, wow, there's an open space challenge, we want to go there because the format is great. And yeah, we at Codecentric decided to go to the MindSphere Open Space Challenge and met our customer Kampf. And I think Donatus can explain why you have been there.
Well, one remark on this,
yeah,
because this is an amazing point. So you were partners up front.
Yeah.
Sure. We met you in a different environment, also in an open space environment in our lab. And we had you as a customer since long time. And now we found you together here on a challenge that we created together. And then we found more. We found an existing ecosystem. We have our ecosystem, and that all contributes to a larger scaling experience. And maybe your customers, who's not here on stage, but maybe out there, I see some faces already, could be your customers. Now you are also part in this ecosystem, and so we grow bigger and scale worldwide.
Yeah, for sure. It was not a project for us or something like this. For us, it was an experiment going there. We want to have an exchange with the people there. And yeah, one of the people were Donatus from Kampf, however, but yeah, it was fun.
Well, that's pretty exactly 1 year ago that we had this challenge right here. Let me say a few words to the Converting 4.0 network. The basic idea is to have an ecosystem, to have partners that more or less share the same idea of working together. And this Converting 4.0 partner network is a network for the converting industry, for slitting, winding, and everything that's around. But I think there are many ecosystems, and if we can put them together in an even bigger ecosystem, that's the solution. And something like that happened 1 year ago, because we were asked to define a challenge, and I really love these new ways of working together. So we defined a challenge together with Claus. on how to integrate our machines into MindSphere to create even a larger customer value. So I went here and I was told there are different companies applying to work on our challenge. And it was funny because one of them was Codecentric.
Yeah.
Let's show the picture.
There it is, yes.
That's from last year, actually.
Yeah.
Who remembers last year here in the audience?
Just raise your hand.
I see lots of hands
So
coming
at
up.
least a few.
Made some impression.
Wow. Yeah, well, last year I was standing here, not with this, but with a roll of toilet paper or 2 rolls of toilet paper and kitchen tissue. That's not what our machines do. They could, but that's the real stuff. Yes. What was happening last year? There was MindSphere.
Yeah, MindSphere was even new for us. So going to the Siemens MindSphere Open Space Challenge was an experiment for us because we read about MindSphere and spoken from a developer's perspective. In the background, MindSphere uses technologies we know by heart. So we can deploy apps to Cloud Foundry. It's an open source framework which we use for years, and we had the hypothesis, also we have hypotheses, so we had the hypothesis, okay, we are able to quickly and effortlessly develop applications for MindSphere. And the MindSphere Open Space Challenge was our experiments to prove this hypothesis to be true. And yeah, together with Kampf, then we showed, or with the use case from Kampf, we were able to see, okay, it really bridges the gap between OT and IT. Yeah? And we were able to see that Cloud Foundry is in the back end, and we have no issue on deploying apps for MindSphere. It was really easy for us. Honestly, 1 year ago, MindSphere wasn't in the state it is now. So it's also curious to see how this platform is evolving. There is a community being created around, and it's great to see what is happening there. And yeah, I think we have 2 perspectives. We have our perspective on the technology level of MindSphere, and yeah, we have also your perspective on a customer's point of view. Why do you use MindSphere?
Sure. There will be many questions from your side. Well, you built your own platform. What do you need MindSphere for? Well, it's pretty easy. When we built the advanced, for us it was clear that it will run on-premise. It is built off cloud technology, but we will never have our own cloud to run it. Okay, we could go to AWS, to Azure, or whatever. But as you can see, one of the main points for us is global availability. So in Asia, you cannot use the one or the other cloud. So when having a look at it from the technical point of view, you have infrastructure as a service, and then you have a platform as a service. Infrastructure as a service, for example, AWS, Azure, and whatever, and MindSphere builds on top. That means it's globally available. So we can globally work with it and, yes, give it to our customers.
Yeah.
The second point, I think, is one of the most important points, it's trust. Yeah, you know, cloud, production data goes into the cloud. Our customers, they trust in Siemens because for decades they know, and I'm pretty sure you will also say that the PLCs, the drives are very, very good products.
Sure, I will do that.
And that's what our customers know. They can rely on that, and they will trust in Siemens if they go for this cloud. Okay, ecosystem. It's an ecosystem where people come together, different people, different roles. And of course, our integrative solution, the advanced, is a puzzle piece that can now be integrated into MindSphere or any other setup of the customer. Connect to the ERP system, MES system, and whatever. So great.
So Donatus, basically you can scale easily with MindSphere.
Sure.
And you can develop as you are used to it based on MindSphere, right?
Yeah, and we even can scale because MindSphere has an app store, and we can contribute applications to more than just one customer easily. Yes.
And maybe one remark to all the developers out there, because we talked to you before, and I know for you it's also very amazing to speak to all the other developers. So there's not yet this kind of competition story.
No,
it's
never.
more everybody gains knowledge and starts to work together, also best-in-class developers together. So I spotted some of the other partners here also in the auditorium, and they all look, what are you doing? But it's not a competition, it's a work together.
I'm keen to see what they are building, and we have to exchange, because this is a new thing coming up right now. Yeah, let's show what we built, I think.
1 year ago, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Now, if there are developers, this is not a very, very amazing thing from a developer's point of view. But it tested the whole stack. So implementing this thing, we are showing real machine data using the MindSphere platform. And it showed that we are able to solve the connectivity issue. So we are able to read data from the machine. We are able to push this data as time series data into MindSphere. And the third thing, we are able to use our web technologies to display this data. We are building upon this solution. However, for us as a developer, it's great to take part in this whole ecosystem. So when we develop apps for a platform like MindSphere, we are immediately part of a much greater environment. So the goal may be that we are part of the whole Siemens industrial edge, and we develop applications delivered into MindSphere which might run on local devices, but this is out of our scope. We don't have to take care that they run there. We don't have to take care how they do data analysis. Oh, we have to take care how they do data analysis, but we don't have to take care what to push back to the cloud platform. We want to push information, not all data, to save costs, for example. However, we are incrementally coming into this whole ecosystem, because honestly, Codecentric is at the point 1 in this slide, because we are coming from the software world. But step by step, we get closer to getting into this whole ecosystem. And I think you will tell more about the field level. We implemented the advanced, which is running on the field level. However, we were not the experts communicating with the machines, for example. This was something coming from Kampf. We learned a lot from Kampf on this field level, and we contributed the software to implement the advanced, for example.
Exactly, and I think what is really important, this is an ecosystem. You have MindSphere, that's kind of top-down approach. And the Siemens Industrial Edge, yes, the future of automation is bottom-up. And both interconnect. And this interconnection creates many, many chances and possibilities.
Yeah. And it's even interesting to see what is coming up there. So this is because we, as Codecentric, want to be part of such a community. And for example, we visited the Developer Days in Berlin, just to have this exchange you just mentioned. Yeah, we want to see what others are implementing with this platform. We want to see opinions of others about the platform. Honestly, MindSphere is not the only cloud platform to use in this environment. And what we try to understand is when to use MindSphere and when to use AWS, for example. This is also important for us, definitely. And the good thing is there are even more communities coming around that, Donatus, right?
Sure. One of these communities is MindSphere World. MindSphere World is kind of partner network, an association of the MindSphere customers. And that's a very, very good possibility, yes, to collect requirements on user level, the users of MindSphere, the partners, and then we have the possibility to give them back to Siemens. And Siemens reacts and makes MindSphere even better. So again, it's an ecosystem. And we were happy to be one of the founding members of MindSphere World, and it's steadily growing. It's really great. This is the ecosystem. We have all the different roles. So software developing companies like Codecentric are now able to participate in this ecosystem. And we are happy as a machine builder to have these nerds because they are very keen on data and can help a lot.
Yeah. There are still some things going on, right? So we want to continue our work, I hope at least. Yeah, we are currently continuing our work, and we want to build upon this proof of concept we just made with the MindSphere platform, and we want to use MindSphere in production. We want to create value using such a platform.
Exactly. That's a nice photo from you wanted to highlight
this.
Okay.
Because whoever is here and wants to co-create with Siemens, this is a picture from our co-creation space in Berlin, in the factory Berlin. And please come to our booth. You are on our booth, but come to us and ask for co-creation and co-ideation together with Siemens. And we meet Codecentric there, and we invite our customers to come there for projects. So this is one of the pictures there. And yeah. Lots of creations going on there.
Yeah.
But guys, I just wanted to mention, because Sebastian is also looking to me, we have...
I'm getting a little nervous now. We heard a lot about the software development and all the great stuff going on with Kampf. But I think, Stephan, it's also important to not forget that there is still machines, right?
Where do the data get from?
Exactly. And I'm very curious to hear also now where the data comes from, because I think this is also important on the digitalization journey for most of our customers and visitors here, to see how we as Siemens help them to get the data out of their machines.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But you had just one more slide, but you just shortly,
and you can go one forward. So please think ecosystem, because that's the key. Now to the point, how does the data come out of the machines? There are pretty nice solutions coming from Siemens.
Yes, indeed, we do.
Helping us with that.
Okay, Jannik, Donato, thanks a lot.
You're still here with us, so we can ask
questions. Sure, we will stay.
We will stay. Yes, as Kampf and Siemens has quite a long partnership together. You said disruption from the photographer film we are producing, let's say, to these high-tech foils, which are almost weighing nothing. That means for more than 50 years we are developing together with Kampf, we are delivering automation systems and drive systems for Kampf in order to make all these nice things. And also across many generations of Kampf machines, Siemens technology was inside. And even, let's say, we are not only partners in components, delivering solutions and services. Also, if you remember, probably in 2004, when Kampf opened some subsidiaries in China, we also put on some workforce over there to help them in logistics, in sales, yes, and to start up business as in Germany as well. And you also said you cannot do it alone. You always need partners.
Sure.
Yes. And with the converting 4.0 system from Kampf, we also had to develop our systems in order to meet the requirements of Kampf, to come up with converting 4.0. That means now operational technology, that means pure hardware delivering components with all its logics inside, have to interact with IT technology right now. How to do? But Kampf developed, and if you remember in 2017, at the ICE, the International Converting Exhibition in Munich, Kampf won the prize, Innovative Prize. And one was part of the Innovative Prize. It was a cloud connector, which has been installed over there, one of the first cloud connectors in the machines. And we're quite happy about that success. And I saw what has happened 2 years after, a fully equipped system. But where does the journey go? From operational technology to information technology. What do we have to deliver to Kampf in order to be successful on the market? If you are successful on the market, we are successful and happy too. We need future-proof analysis, and for large data we have going to process, where do they come from? They come out of the automation systems, they come out of the drive system, because they have the right data inside incorporated. That means we have to expand our components in order to make digitally true with all the functions. For example, one use case, you're making winding. Winding on such things is very, very complicated. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You need extremely low tension. For example, another place, I saw you have a battery brought with you. I think battery winding, for example, is also a very critical thing. you have to keep a rep tension of about 1 Newton to 1.5 Newton in order to make a right battery. This is almost nothing in theory. So, and it got some quality data out of the battery. We are going to measure the tension electrically straight out of the drives, and how to identify, is it a good product, is it not a good product? That means we are taking the tension, we are analyzing the harmonic waves, the disturbances on these tensions, right in the drive controller, trace it, and put the raw data to an edge controlling system. And inside the edge controlling system with FFT analysis, for example, we can identify all the processes which are disturbing the very sensitive. This is also very sensitive material over there for these very sensitive devices. Put it into an edge controller, leave it on premises at customer side, and later on, if there is time, you can make your analysis in order to define if the process was okay or was not okay, or deliver it to any IT cloud system or to MindSphere with edge management. If there are a lot of machines are in the park, or you want to compare manufacturing side 1 to manufacturing side B, get the parameters, improve your systems, and send all the improvements as an update to the sender back. This will be the future. But Donatus, let me ask you one last question. You as an expert, you're an expert.
Thanks.
From your perspective, from your point of view, what is the right timing for the journey with future technologies like MindSphere and Siemens Edge Control? Where does the journey go?
Well, you were asking for the right time. The right time is now, because the technology is there, and we need to deal with it, to get known to it, and to use it in our domain. I think that's the time aspect.
You say right now.
Right now, right now. And where does the journey go? Well, things become better. That's clear to me. I think this edge concept is very important, because you just mentioned that there's a lot of data created on the shop floor, and you don't have the possibility to push it into the cloud. And Siemens is exactly delivering the systems that can deal with this data on shop floor level and analyze it on shop floor level. And that's great.
And then is there enough work for you to do to collect the data, to prepare the data, condense, analyze, set it whenever you're here.
And this is what we like to work on, right?
Okay, we too, we like to collect data, push it to somewhere, and then do the homework. Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thanks a lot also for this presentation. Shortly.
Thanks.
So I think this is not over, right, Sebastian? We are still hot to speak with you. We see lots of people here following us the whole journey. It was 1 hour of intense talk, but really interesting for me. So are there questions in the audience? Yeah, we would love to ask to involve you a little bit more. Everybody looks around.
So it seems like still a little sleepy. Well, it's the first day, and we get things rolling. So feel free. Jannik, Donatus, and also Stephan are with us the full day. Actually, some more days. We have in the MindSphere Lounge, we have an area called the developer area. So Jannik will be there with us for the full day. If you are interested in how to start your IoT journey in software development, Jannik is the right guy to talk to. If you want to have more details on real examples and how customers benefit from MindSphere, Donatus is happy to talk about this.
Sure.
And he really loves talking about it, by the way. And Stephan hopefully is also with us for the next days, and then also telling you how to connect your assets.
I'm right at the battery show.
Okay, great.
We are also having an art project up there. We try to draw all the story up there, so you'll see us drawing and working it out. So you can also be part of an art project. So just go up into the MindSphere Lounge and you will have the whole firework of creativity and how we do work together.
Oh, looking forward to. Wow.
So maybe one last comment from my side. That was not the only challenge we will be talking about. So there is another challenge happening tomorrow, or another event happening tomorrow here on stage. We will be having the customer Bader, who will talk about a very interesting fish use case connected to MindSphere.
Yes.
And then all the other days, there's more presentation from other companies like Coca-Cola, like Schmalz.
Yes.
And also...
So every day after lunch break, you will meet us here and having an interactive event. And yeah, hope to see you again there, right?
Okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks for your participation.
Thank you.
Siemens, ingenuity for life.